Alright, first off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps. Shalom. This is Brother Iram from AGMS Jamaica Camp. Come with another quick lesson. And this lesson is I'll say a response to the video that the brother Zahab and Kazak and another brother did called learning to be content. Is that what it's called? I think it's called being content with being content, right? Something along those lines, right? And the brother made a statement. He said, build your legacy, right? And they were going into the fact that we're actually building our legacy, with all the tribulations that we go through, with all the works that we're actually putting in, through faith, in hopes that we obtain that righteous kingdom. That's us building our legacy. Because if we should turn from this this truth, and even say that you go back into the world, what will you be going back to? There's nothing to go back to there, and because there wasn't anything there to begin with. So it really had me thinking. And they went in the fact, the brother used Kobe Bryant as an example of how he didn't take vacations, or didn't take a break, and didn't try to enjoy his wealth, so to speak, until after he had retired. And that's the thing with us. We're our retirement is the kingdom, doing the work of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, meaning, preaching about the downfall of Babylon, bringing out that Esau is a so-called white man, the RFID chip is the mark of the beast, World War III, the whole doctrine, of about prophesying of the end of this current downfall, gathering the elect. That's our main job at this time. All right, so yeah, so we were going in the fact that he didn't enjoy his wealth until after he retired. So after the elect has been gathered, once we enter into the kingdom, we can rest, because that's where our rest is. So let me just get straight into the precepts, and then afterwards we'll just try to wrap this up as quickly as possible. This is 1 Corinthians 9, and I'll start at verse 24. It says, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. So we have to be focusing on time management, prioritizing the work as best as we can, try not to do too much, even if we have the opportunity, to better our situation, so to speak, you can do that, but it's at the end of the day, it's to keep the main thing, just like the brother Ariella always says, it says it's temperate in all things. It says, now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. And that's the thing, they Kobe Bryant, yeah, he's dead now, but he has a lot of, he has a legacy to his name. He has that fame, so to speak, and not only fame, but that praise and a sense of glory, in this world, based off what he achieved, in basketball, right? And we are trying to obtain, that righteous, fame, or basically being joint ears with Yahweh Shai, receiving of that glory, of that mercy. That's what we're actually striving towards, right? So we are trying to obtain that incorruptible crown, right? Now let me get to the book of Luke, chapter 14, and it's start of verse 26, right? It says, "And there went great multitudes with him being Yahushai, and he turned and said unto them, If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sisters, yea, and his own life, he cannot be my disciple." So at the end of the day, it's knowing, what the cost is. It's about being diligent and putting in the work now, so that at the end, you can say, as Yahushua did, it is finished. You, as Paul said also, you want to finish your course, right? And you have to be diligent. You have to keep pushing. You have to build that legacy, right? Because it is indeed a legacy. It is something that it's so precious. It's only given to a few. So if the Lord has given you the understanding of these scriptures, pray for the Spirit, to push these lessons. Pray for the Spirit to pray more. Pray for the Spirit to fast. Pray for the Spirit, to be diligent in the Spirit. Peradventure you will obtain salvation. That's how you build a legacy, by putting in this work, right? Verse 27 says, "And whoso do not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple." So it takes work, right? It says, "For which of you intending to build a tower sit not down first and count the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it? Lest happily after he had laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him, saying, This man began to build and was not able to finish." So hey, will you be able to finish? You should have that mindset of wanting to finish, not letting anything or anyone slow you down as you try to build this legacy. It's all about the legacy. It's all about, getting, the true riches, incorruptible riches, incorruptible fame, if you will, incorruptible glory. Yeah, glory is the better word, having that righteous glory, having all that you need, not worrying about anything, living in a righteous kingdom with a righteous God ruling over us. That's the end game. But you have to put in the work. You have to know that, look, this work comes first. This work comes first. That we need to let ourselves know that, look, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakakwadash comes first, right? Because without them, we won't be able to make it out of the the days to come. Without them, there's no way to actually obtain the glory which is to come. So you have to count that cost. And what they were going into is the fact that when you are content, when you, whatever state or lot the Lord has you in, it's just to be grateful and ensure that you're in that position. You have you're put in these positions so that you can focus more on the word to the best of your ability. So if if the Lord bless you with a woman, stay with that one woman. As the scripture says, he that is a bishop, should have one wife. Reason being what? It helps to block distractions. Even Paul said it. Paul said, he would advise that you have none. So if one of the examples the brother was going into, you have the Lord bless you with a woman, she may not make it in the kingdom with you, who knows, but at the end of the day, she's there for a reason, right? And it helps you to do the work. And if you don't have one, then the Lord didn't ensure that you don't have one, so that you can dedicate that time toward the word. If you're not making a certain amount of money, or you're not in certain positions monetarily, it could be because if you were in that position, then you won't be able to focus on the truth as you need to. So it's all about tailoring things to the point where you are able to perform the duties that we ought to perform by teaching this word. All right. Moving on, the next precept, right? Salakia. Next precept is Where would I want to go? I read Corinthians. Right, Matthew 19, which is a similar account. This is Matthew 19, verse 28. It says, And Yahushua said unto them, that them being their disciples, Verily, verily, I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, he shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And every one of you that had forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or fathers, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So here's the thing, Yahushua is saying that, look, if you forsake, houses, maybe some of the disciples were a part of great houses, with reputable names, and may even had wealth, you know. They had beloved brethren and sisters and fathers and mothers and wives and even children, or even lands. They probably had fruitful lands, or certain lands that had certain resources that could keep them. But guess what? They had to focus more on the word. They had to give that up for the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? It says, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. Because here's the thing, even if we should get all these things, on this side, it won't profit us, with Esau tax laws, with Esau's, with just Esau's, way of running things, his various laws, whether it applies to land, whether it applies to children, whether it applies to marriage, whether it, regardless of what it applies to, it's not set up for it to be profitable unto you, right? It's more profitable to him, and it's set in a way where it's oppression on all sides. That is why the scripture says, what, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Also the scripture says that we should come out of her, my people, referring to what, Babylon. And we have to do so mentally, and keep building until the Lord actually takes us out physically, till the Lord Yahushua returns. And and even seeing that it's corruptible, the Lord is actually going to give you one that is more profitable, one that has no corruption or nothing, no ill will or any side effects, if you will, that will come with what Yahushua will have to give, or Yahweh Shem Yahushua will have to give. You'll have a true house. You'll have real land. You'll have a real family. You'll have real brethren. You'll be in a real and true and righteous society. And all of and not only that, the glory that comes with being in with fighting, the good fight on this side. The glory that comes with fighting the good fight on this side also speaks for itself. As the scripture says that what Ezra said, he began to commend them who stood so stiffly, for the name of the Lord and his only begotten Son, roughly paraphrasing, right? So let me close out with my final precept, which is Revelation chapter 3. And I'll start at 10. It says, Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And it says, the last scripture says, yea, even his own life. So, refusing that RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, refusing vaccine, and waiting for the Lord to deliver you, the Lord will actually deliver us, once we have faith in that, right? And he will keep us, right? Verse 11 says, Behold, I come quickly. Hold fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Having a crown, is you getting that legacy, right? Kings have legacies. We will be kings and priests upon the earth, reigning, under Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So, hey, think about that legacy, yo. Push towards that legacy. All right? So with that, hope this was edifying. Once we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps. Shalom.